Hi everyone, this is Jack from Maths Forge, and in today's lesson we're going to be doing surd brackets. So let's take a look at our first example. Here we're being asked to multiply 9 minus root 5 by 3 plus root 5. The operation that's taking place between these two brackets is multiplication. So the first thing you want to do is take the first term of the first bracket, so this 9 here, and you want to multiply this onto every term in the second bracket. So we're going to have 9 times 3, which is 27. Then we're going to have 9 times positive root 5, which is positive 9 root 5. And then once you've multiplied this 9 by everything in the second bracket, you can go ahead and do the same thing with this negative root 5. So we're going to take this negative root 5 and multiply it by every term in the second bracket. So this is going to be negative root 5 multiplied by 3, which is going to give us negative 3 root 5. And then it's going to be negative root 5 multiplied by positive root 5, which is going to be negative root 25. If you remember from the lesson on surds, multiplying two numbers with a square root together just gives you one square root, and the numbers within the square root multiply together. And now we simplify. So we have 27, and then we have positive 9 root 5 minus 3 root 5. So again, if you remember from the lesson on surds, subtracting and adding surds is the same as collecting like terms. So 9 minus 3 is going to give us positive 6. And then we have root 5. And then we have minus root 25. But root 25 simplifies to give us 5. The square root of 25 is indeed 5. So we have minus 5. And now for the final step of simplifying, we have 27 and we have minus 5. So the 27 and the minus 5 simplify to give us 22, because of course 27 minus 5 is 22. And then we have plus 6 root 5. And just a note, you can't simplify whole numbers with square roots. So here we have 6 lots of root 5, and here we just have the number 22. And this should be our answer in its simplest form. So let's check our answer. There it is. Now we'll do a 2-star example. So we take the first term of the first bracket, this 4, and we're going to multiply it onto every term in the second bracket. So it's going to be 4 multiplied by 2, which is 8. Then we're going to have 4 multiplied by negative root 12. Notice how I include the negative symbol as well. Negative root 12. So that's going to be minus 4 root 12. And now we're going to do the same with the second term in the first bracket. So this positive root 12, we're going to multiply it onto every term in the second bracket. So we're going to have positive root 12 multiplied by 2, which is positive 2 root 12. And then we're going to have positive root 12 multiplied by negative root 12, which is going to give us negative root 144. And now if we collect like terms to simplify, we have an 8, and then we have negative 4 lots of root 12 plus 2 lots of root 12. So negative 4 plus 2 is going to give us negative 2 lots of root 12. So we're simplifying this middle bit here. Anything with a root 12 can be collected and simplified. And then we have minus the square root of 144, but 144 is a square number, so the square root of 144 can be simplified to give us 12. And so we have minus 12. So now we have 8 minus 2 root 12 minus 12. We can collect the whole numbers together and simplify them. So it's going to be 8 minus 12, which gives us negative 4, and then minus 2 lots of root 12. So now we have minus 4 minus 2 lots of root 12. However, this answer is not in its simplest form, since this root 12 can actually be broken down and simplified further. If you remember from the lesson on surds, root 12 can be broken down into the square root of 4 times 3. And the square root of 4 times 3 is further simplified to the square root of 4 multiplied by the square root of 3. And of course, we know that the square root of 4 is 2, and this is multiplied by root 3. So actually, this root 12 can be simplified further to give us 2 multiplied by root 3. And since we have negative 4 minus 2 multiplied onto root 12, so of course, if the number is just next to the square root, they're multiplying. And since we've discovered that this root 12 can be broken down into 2 times root 3, we end up with the following. minus 4 minus 2 times root 3. And if we simplify further, we have minus 4, 2 times root 3 is minus 4 root 3. Of course, 2 times 2 is 4. There's a negative symbol here, and then we have a root 3 at the end. And this should be our answer in its simplest form. So if we check our answer, there it is. Now we'll do a 3-star example. So just as the 1 and 2-star examples, we'll take the first term of the first bracket and multiply this onto every term in the second bracket. So it's going to be 9 root 7 multiplied by 4 root 7. So how you do this part is you multiply the whole numbers together and the roots together. So we're going to have 9 times 4, which is 36. And we're going to have root 7 multiplied by root 7, which is root 49. And now we'll do the same, the 9 root 7 multiplied onto the negative 3 root 5. So since it's a positive and the negative, the overall value is going to be negative. And then we're going to do 9 times 3, which is 27. And then root 7 times root 5, which is root 35. And now we'll do the second term of the first bracket multiplied by all of the terms in the second bracket. So we're going to have a negative value. So it's negative 6 root 5 multiplied by a positive value. So this is going to give us a negative because, of course, a negative and a positive give a negative. And now we'll do the whole numbers. 6 times 4 is 24. Root 5 times root 7 is root 35. And now the second term of the first bracket with the second term of the second bracket. It's a negative multiplied by a negative. So this will output a positive value. And we're going to do 6 times 3, which is 18. And we're going to do root 5 times root 5, which is root 25. And now take it easy at this stage and simplify it bit by bit. So I have a square root of 49, which simplifies to give us 7. And then we have a 36 multiplying onto it. And then we have minus 27 lots of root 35 minus another 24 lots of root 35. So we have minus 27 minus 24, which will give us minus 51 lots of root 35. So these two terms in the middle here have been simplified to give us minus 51 root 35. And at the end, we have plus 18 lots of root 25. Root 25 can break down into 5. So we have plus 18 times 5. And this 5 comes from the root 25 simplifying. So now we'll do our calculations. 36 times 7 is 252. And then we have minus 51 root 35. And then we have 18 times 5, which gives us 90. And now for the final stage, we only have one term with a square root here, but we have two whole numbers that can simplify further. So we have 252 plus 90, which is going to give us 342. And then we have minus 51 root 35. And if we check our answer, there it is. So that's it for our lesson on surd brackets. Just remember the technique of multiplying out brackets. It's the first term of the first bracket multiplied by everything, and then list your terms down. And then the second term of the first bracket multiplied by everything, and then you list your terms down right next to it. And then take it easy when you're simplifying step by step. Remember to break down any square roots that you can and collect like terms where possible.